Cars.com Auto Review.
Hi, I'm Bill Jackson. We're here with the 2010 Dodge Journey. It's a mid-size crossover, and that's a pretty competitive field. As far as the Journey goes, though, there's some things it does pretty well and some things it does not so well. So we're going to run you through those features. Now, one thing I've noticed after a week of driving the Journey is that visibility out the front is kind of not so great. What I mean is you can see where you're going just fine, but it's very hard to judge where the front of the Journey is, and I had more trouble in this car than any other one that I've driven. Another thing that's kind of odd is it's not the biggest crossover I've ever driven, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is when you're driving it. Now, it's subjective, so it's something you just want to check out when you test drive it. Now, when it comes to ride and acceleration, the Journey's kind of a mixed bag. In the city, I found it had good acceleration from a standstill. On the other hand, the ride was a little unsettled. It just kind of was jiggly over rough pavement. I didn't like that. On the highway, I never felt like I had enough passing power from like 40 to 60 miles per hour. On the other hand, the highway ride was really good. I think that's actually the strongest part of the Journey. Now, as far as room in the second row goes, the Journey's actually pretty good. This seat isn't actually where I would have it set. It would be back a little bit more. But even so, I tested it out, and it's comfortable for shorter drives. Obviously, if you're, I'm about 6'1", if you're not that tall, you're going to be a lot more comfortable. One thing, whether you're short or tall, that you will appreciate is that the second row seat feels very wide. So even if you're a bigger, broader person, I don't think you're going to feel cramped back here. Now, Dodge Journeys can come with an optional third row, and our test car had that. As you can see, though, it's kind of tight back here. I think it's best for kids and probably small kids at that. Now, if you think about this crossover in terms of utility, you know, obviously with a third row up, you don't have a lot of room back here. That's pretty normal. But when you fold the second row over, you get a pretty generous cargo area. I'd say it's actually very good for a mid-size crossover. After a week of driving the Journey, I have to say that in the city it's not my favorite crossover. I think that's largely due to the visibility out the front, even though I did like the acceleration away on the standstill. Where I think it's the strongest is on the highway. Again, it's got a good ride and it's got a lot of room in there if you're the type of person who's carrying a family and particularly likes to do long drives. I think that's the market this car is really aimed at, and if that's you, it would be a reason to check out the Journey.
For more car-related news, go to Cars.com or our blog, KickingTires.net.